So anyway, but I'm not going to answer any questions. All the questions and answers will be till the end. There's going to be about, oh, you know what? I should also say my timer to make sure I don't go over. Because doing live feed, you tend to go over the time. So I'm going to give the lecture for 20 minutes to cover a lot of stuff. So basically, just in case you did not read my post from all my social media, today's lecture will be all about Axie and entertainment, part 1. Yes, part 1. So all the questions and answer will be till the end. So I will not respond to any comments. So sorry about that. I want to cover as much as I can. And then I will, till the end will be the questions and answers. Okay, so today's topic will be all about Axie Entertainment, part 1. I decided to do this because the place I work at, they decided to have an event where they talk to the high school students about getting into the show business, about acting and voiceover. I really cannot give too much information about voice acting because I never got into it. But I will talk about acting, principal acting, and doing background acting, and that's what I will cover. So, for people who are joining this live feed who are not from California, and you may be from other states, and thinking about moving to California, is California the best place to get into acting? Well, if you are from California and you live in California, that's probably the only time I will actually recommend getting into acting in California. But if you are from other states, like let's say Kentucky, let's say, okay, or other countries, then California will not be the place to get into acting. Why? Because lots of production are moving to other places like Georgia, New Mexico, Texas, Florida, New York, or maybe even in other countries like Canada and so on. So California may not be the place to get into acting unless, of course, you are from California. So what state is a good state to move to if you want to get into acting? That state will be Georgia. Yes, you're correct. Georgia. Because Georgia is becoming a second Hollywood to get into acting. Plus, if you go to Georgia to get into acting, then Georgia will be cheaper, and cost of living will be cheaper. Much better to live in Georgia to get into acting than if you go to California. In fact, it got to the point where the studios are going to move to Nevada and build a brand new studios. Good example is Warner Brothers. Yes, you have heard Warner Brothers are going to get into construction and remodeling the studios, but that's because before the strike, lots of things was shooting in California, so they were planning to build more stuff. But now, after the strike, they want to save money, so now all the production are going someplace else. And in fact, some of the studios are going to just sell off the property to other people. Is the construction still going on and remodeling still going on at Warner Brothers? Yes, because it's already in the plans. Too late to cancel it now. So that's why I say, if you are from other states besides California, then Georgia will be the much base state to move to get into accent, okay? I'm not saying that if you are from California, move to Georgia. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm just saying that if you are from other states besides California and Georgia, then it's best to go to Georgia. In fact, I watch so many shows on the streaming stuff like Netflix and so on. And if you look at the credits, to the end of the credits say Georgia. It was shot in Georgia. 2 shows are actually being done in Georgia, which supposed to take place in California. For example, Cobra Kai, and there's another new movie. I think it's about vampires in San Fernando Valley, and they actually recreated some of the old stuff back in the 80s in Georgia, and some of the stuff they actually made up. So if you have other states, then the California versus Georgia, you have much better luck in Georgia. Now, as for talent agents, I never bothered looking for a talent agent for myself. I was hoping when I get into acting, maybe one day I will find one. but I never bothered looking for one. Plus, talent agents are kind of picky on who they choose. So, they really want someone who is really, really good in acting. So it's like when you look for a talent agent, they actually kind of audition you to see if they want to choose you or not. And beware of any talent agents which ask for money up front. You do not want a talent agent where you have to pay up front. It does not work that way. So to find a legit talent agent, you have to go to the SAG website to find a legit talent agent. And then you just write them a laser, mail it out to them. Hopefully they will call you, maybe even audition you and see if you are a good fit for them. They may even ask for a demo reel from you too, okay? So, and if you go to the SAG website, look for a listing of all the talent agents available today, okay? Okay, now for the next part is headshots. Headshots, I know some people say, oh, you have to pay hundreds of dollars for headshots. No, you don't. You do not have to pay hundreds of dollars for headshots. That's definitely a no, okay? So, in fact, I talked to a couple of the casting directors, and they say they would actually take headshots from your own phone. So you can actually take your own headshots, have your friend take your own headshots on your phone. In fact, today's phone, you can actually set it to portrait, where it will be focused on your face, but it will blur out the background and look like a professional headshot. They will never know. And what the casting directors say is that usually when they look at the headshot, it's usually just a small, tiny thumbnail, and they just look at all the headshots very quickly on the computer to see who is a good fit. Which brings me to what makes a good headshot. What makes a good headshot is not to cover up your face. Don't put your hands by your face like some of the photographers ask you. Do not do that. Do not do this. Hey, oh, ooh, or any of that. That is a complete big no. Do not put a hat on yourself. Do not put glasses on yourself. Unless, of course, you always wear glasses. Then you could wear glasses in your headshots. Okay? So, no hats, no glasses, unless, of course, you always wear glasses. don't put hands by your face. And also another thing about headshots is that you do not want to take your headshot in a dark background. That's also a big no. Because when they look at your thumb, the really tiny thumbnail on the computer, they look at it so quickly that and your picture is so small, is that having a dark background would just wash you away. So you want to have a medium, light to medium background, okay? That's what will make it perfect headshot. There are some exceptions to the rule. For example, if you are white with blonde hair, then yeah, maybe a dark background would be a good background to have. So and you don't need expensive photography. You could just do it on your phone in portrait mode, okay? And what they want is a headshot which show your face. You do not want a headshot that cut you off, like on the top or on your side. I've seen headshots that do that, and you don't want to do that. They want to see a whole head like that. Now, the problem about if you do decide to just go for a photographer, there's one problem of getting a professional photographer. They always do the exact same thing. All photographers do exactly the same thing. Why? Maybe because they taught the same way and all the teachers teach them the same way. It was really hard for me to find a photographer that actually take good pictures. It's really hard to find them because all of them take the same way. And that's why I say it's really not necessary to spend hundreds of dollars for a photographer, because basically all of them do the exact same thing anyway. So, and another thing I would suggest to do when I actually got a photographer mad at me is that when you look for a photographer, look at the samples of the pictures, and also have a mind of the casting director. Look at all the pictures they have on the website quickly. And then look for, hey, is the background like medium or light? Do the photographer cut the face off? Is there hat or hands by the face? If so, look for those. Okay, so to recap, medium, light background, don't cut to the face, top or bottom or side, no hands by the face, no hats on the photographer. Look at the pictures, sample the pictures with the photographer have. Can you look at all the pictures and say, hey, I want this person or not? If you cannot pick a person quickly, then it's probably not, that person may not be a very good photographer. And unfortunately, it's really hard to find a good photographer because they shoot the same way anyway. So that's why I say maybe it's just best if you should just do it yourself. There are exceptions in getting a photographer. If you get a talent agent and they tell you, hey, you need to get a professional photographer to take your headshots, then you do that, okay? Okay, so, now, next thing is about acting classes. You definitely want to take some acting classes. Like, in fact, you could get really cheap acting classes. You don't have to spend thousands or on acting classes. You could just go to community college, take some acting classes. They have like beginning, intermediate, and advanced acting. So it's like 3 classes together, the first, second, third semester, maybe 4th semester of acting. And that one's just as good if you pay thousands of dollars for private acting classes. Okay, so go to community college, take all the acting classes. Now, there are 2 classes I highly recommend, and unfortunately, university and community college, most of them do not provide it. And that's where the big money come in, where you have to spend the big bucks, and unfortunately. And that's improv class and method or realistic acting. Improv class is an improv where you act instantly. They just give you a backstory, you act right away. And usually improv is usually comedy related, usually, but it's a good idea to have improv experience because, for example, let's say you're shooting a TV show or a movie and you forgot your lines, you just improv the whole thing, and sometimes the director may actually like what you have. Okay, so yeah, so improv is really good to have, a very good skill to have, where you could they just give you a backstory and you instantly could do the acting. Now, method or also known as realistic acting, I call it realistic acting because that's what it is. It's realistic acting. Just how you say it. We sometimes don't like to say method acting. And basically what it is that you act, but you make it so real that people don't even know you are acting. So, and that's a really good stuff to have to know. There is a class in LA where he charged very cheap for method or realistic acting, but the problem with him is that he's too picky on who he chooses to let in his class, and he actually rejected me because he think I don't do a very good job in acting. Oh well. That's life. So yeah, after you take some acting, I highly recommend, if you have the money, to take improv classes and method or realistic acting. And I highly recommend it if you have the money. Yes, I know it's not cheap to take those classes, but it's a good thing to have. It's a good skill and to have. In fact, method and realistic acting, there are books and YouTube videos on how to do it, but you really want to do it one-on-one or get feedback from other students. Okay, now for acting. I know some people who get into acting will also do background acting, or there are some people who just want to just skip background acting and do acting right away. Well, I recommend just doing background acting at first, because at least when you do background acting, you can see how things are done and how people treat other people. I will tell you this right now. When you get into acting, you will meet people who will not treat you very good. You will meet people who will not treat you good. So, which remind me, I forgot to get into this. That's why I recommend, when you take some acting classes, I also was recommend working on your social media. Yeah, and the reason why is that if people could see that you have lots of followers or subscribers on your social media, then you have something going, and the casting director will actually take a closer look at you. So if you have 10,000 followers or subscribers, then people will take a closer look at you, and people may not treat you as bad. So that's why I highly recommend working on your social media. I know there are some actors who say, hey, you really don't need social media. What you really need is to be really good be really good in acting, and that is true. You really have to be good in acting. But I think, in my opinion, I think it's also important to have a very good social media online. So and I think both very good acting, take acting classes, go together with social media and getting followers. I think both of them go together. So, 20 minutes we passed. Huh? So, okay, let me try to wrap it up. Look like I'm going a little bit longer than I should. Okay, so now I'm into acting. Now, there are a couple of websites you could go to get into acting right away, so you really don't need a talent agent right away. And that is Casting Networks, or formerly known as LA Casting. Let me show you what that is. Okay, Casting Networks. Show on this one and show on my Facebook. You definitely want to sign up for that. That's the number one place you want to sign up at. It's Casting Network. There you could do some background acting and do regular acting. You could actually make some money on it. And what I recommend do a 6 months plan or a 1 year plan. That's what I highly recommend signing up for. I almost forgot about SAG-AFTRA. Is where you could find some of legit talent agents. Let's see. Oh, Central Casting, they only do background work. Because of the recent changes, recent changes they made at Central Casting, you probably don't need a calling service anymore. But if you join Central Casting, make sure you follow all the rules they have, because they are very, very strict over there. You don't want to get kicked out from there, because they already have a database of thousands of people. I mean, thousands of people. So they really don't need you. So that's why I highly recommend, if you join Central Casting, make sure you follow the rules and don't break it, okay? Another good one, it's a small company, but it's, and they mostly trying to compete against Central Casting. I'm hoping this company will become very big. Before I forget, Casting Networks and Central Casting is available in LA and Georgia, so you can sign up with them. Okay, now the next part is EverySet. EverySet is only available in LA, as far as I know. And they also try to compete against Central Casting. Currently, it's just a small company, so it's not a big company. So lots of people are getting some background work from EverySet, and they are really trying to compete against Central Casting. In fact, Casting Networks and EverySet is trying to steal some of the business from Central Casting. Okay, now Access. If you're really serious about acting, I also will recommend signing up for Access. I kind of have mixed results from them. But for some people have good luck with them. So the Access is really good if you want to get into acting. Casting Frontier. I never use them. But Casting Frontier, it costs a little bit more money, and they also messed up someplace. Okay, they also work very similar to Casting Networks, but the Casting Frontier costs a little bit more money. Now we're going to calling service. I probably not recommend calling service, but if you do try them out, I'll probably only give them 3 months tryout period before I cancel them. Okay, because now since Central Casting changed the way they cast background people, calling service is kind of useless now. In fact, some of the calling service now have to look for their own casting directors to have them find background people. So I probably not recommend calling service anymore, but if you want to give it a try, I will only try them for 3 months. And the ones I have is extra management. I had them before, and I did not like them. They also book talent. Some people have good luck with book talent, but I do not have good luck with them. Let's see. And then we have face-to-face calling service. I heard good things about them before Central Casting made all the changes. Now some people are saying it's kind of slow, but you could give it a try. There's also uncut casting. So they also a calling service too. And then there's if you are union, SAC union, then you can also try Jessica A-List. They also, some people have mixed results. Now, if you want to do background work on commercials, and usually they will only hire you for like audience in the background, you have to keep in mind, sometimes when they do casting for background people for commercial, they always try to hide you, because if you are seen on TV and if it's a union commercial, then they have to pay you extra. So usually you will not be seen in doing commercials, but they do pay you good. There's commercial extras. Now this guy, I actually had pretty good luck with him, and he actually had very good memory, so you don't want to be bad to him, because he will remember you. People have mixed reviews on him. I probably not sign up with him again, because not only he booked people in his roster, he also looked for people on Casting Network. So what's the point? There's also Virgo Talent. One thing about Virgo Talent is if you don't get booked enough, like let's say once a month for 6, like at least once every 2 months. At least once every 2 months, then they will just not book you anymore. Even if you change your pictures, they will not book you anymore. They will just mark you as unbookable. So I don't know if I will recommend Virgo Talent either. I would say if you get booked at least once every 2 months for 1 year, yeah, maybe you could renew it. But and then we have background talent service. I actually had pretty good luck with it for the first several months. For the first several months, I don't think she liked me very much. So I kind of dropped out. I think she basically kicked me out, and that's about it. But I have worked on some of the audience work with her, so if she don't like you, at least you could do some audience work. And usually she look for audience people on Casting Network. Anyway, so I think let's see. Oh, and if you get into acting, keep in mind you will not always be busy all the time when you do acting. So to help you out, I actually will recommend doing security for the TV and movies. That way you can even see even more stuff that goes on TV and movies. But keep in mind, if you do security for the TV and movies, keep in mind you may not always be on set or be in front of all the action, okay? Like one security guy which my company tried to hire, and he only wanted to be near the set. Okay, so you may not always be near the set or near all the action, but at least you can experience how everything works when you do security for TV and movies. And considering there's not a huge demand for security guards in California because of the homeless and the crimes, the pay rate for security guards for the TV and movie actually went up to compete with other security company that do other stuff. So it's not too bad. You may actually make more money than acting, to be honest with you. At least background acting. So I think that's about all I could cover right now. I think I covered everything you need to know. Okay, so I probably will actually make this in. I probably will type the whole thing up because I do want to put some of the new information. So I may actually have a file for you guys to download in the future. Yeah, you know what? I probably will have a file for all of you to download. So you could. I probably will upload this video on YouTube and also going to type the whole thing up on a file for you to download. So now since this is the end of all about acting and entertainment part 1. I will now take any questions you guys have. So let's see if you have any questions. I see no one joining me on the Facebook Live, but let's see if anyone have any questions on my okay, see, wanna be my hubby, you wait, see. Okay, so any questions? If anyone have any questions, I could stay online in case anyone have any questions about what I have talked about. Actually, look like I have 0 people on the thing, so I guess no more questions. So I'm going to end this section. I'm going to end this live feed. And if anyone have any questions, you can make a comment on my YouTube. I probably will upload this video on YouTube. And thank you for joining me. And I talk to you later. Stay tuned next week. Friday the 13th. Yeah, bad luck day. I'm going to have a couple of guests joining me. Talk about acting and working behind the scenes. And I see you next time. See you next week. Friday the 13th, 8 to 8:30. See ya.